I'm ashamed of who I am. I felt like I didn't ever want to let anybody know. And yet here I am on a podcast announcing it to a whole bunch of people who don't even know me for the first time. Again, I felt quite different. Welcome back, my friends, to Living Your Truest Self. Today, we're diving into something I think many of us feel but don't talk about, and that's feeling different. If you've ever felt different, like you didn't quite fit in, this episode is for you because it's very important to me. And a spoiler alert, what makes you different is your greatest strength. I want that to resonate with you a moment. Repeat it in your head. What makes you different is your greatest strength. Okay. It is not something negative. It's good to be different. It makes you you. So I'm growing up as oldest sister in a family of 10 kids in a missionary family. Again, in a missionary family. I felt quite different. I'm not going to lie, and not in a good way. I was constantly moving to new places, new schools, new people, new languages, new cultures. Everything was new, and I was always the new kid, the different kid, and I often felt like I didn't belong and I didn't know what was going on, and found myself thinking and wondering what it would be like to be a normal kid, right? It sounds weird if somebody is saying it, but when you grow up not having the same lifestyle as 80% of the people that you encounter or in the world, you feel different. Why can't I just be like everyone else? Why do I do something different? And I'm going to say something about that. Didn't actually feel negatively towards it when I was a kid. It started a lot in my teens, okay? It started like when I became 14, and then when we finally settled in Italy and my parents stopped traveling around so much, that really hit me. Oh, I don't have any school friends, or I don't have, you know, those hangout places. It was like I had to at 15, when I feel it's a very vulnerable age for a girl. Your hormones are changing, you're becoming a person, and then you realize that you don't belong in this place. And it was not easy. That's when I started living a little bit negatively towards like, I'm ashamed of who I am. I felt different, okay? And it's it's a big topic for me. I didn't want to let anybody see that I felt different. So that was also something that made me feel negatively towards it, right? Because if you are different and you're ashamed of it, then that's what causes those feelings inside. But over the years, I've realized something very powerful. Those experiences of feeling different really shaped me. They gave me the want to do something else. They taught me empathy, resilience, and the ability to connect with all kinds of people. And that really was so precious to me. Like the ability that I can connect with people all over the world. The fact that I speak 3 languages, being able to adapt very easily to any situation I'm in, and the want and the strive to always be better and connect at a human level, because that's all I really had, right? Really is amazing. So often we think our differences are weaknesses, but in reality, they are our superpowers. They get you places. Your unique perspective, your quirks, your life story, they're what make you you. And the world needs a lot more authenticity. I felt like I didn't ever want to let anybody know. And yet here I am on a podcast announcing it to a whole bunch of people who don't even know me for the first time. Like, this is who I was and this is how I grew up. Whereas before, I didn't even want to let my neighbor know that I was different, right? And now I'm like, no, this is a good thing. What's different is what we carry inside, and that nobody else can have. That's what makes me me. I'm proud to be me. I'm proud to be able to have those core values, which is being a good person, respectful, healthy, curious, resilient, never settling because you know that you can have something good and never settling for the bad, that's something that they don't teach you at school. And that's something that you're not going to get from sitting in the same place all the time, right? So being different isn't such a bad thing if you look at it that way. Thing that made me feel different was the fact that I didn't have maybe the designer pens that somebody else had, or I didn't have my high school friends, or that was different. But in the end, nowadays, as I grow up, that doesn't matter anymore because I am a different person inside, but we all do the same thing. We all eat the same food. We all have access to the same, podcasts, workouts. We all can travel the world over our phones. So you feel connected, right? Sort of. Sometimes you don't, because obviously then it makes you feel different because you're not like that person on the screen. And that's the bad, different feeling that I feel we should get rid of. Okay. So with all that being said, I feel like being different is something we should celebrate. So there are some tips that I taught myself as to get to this place of where I feel like I'm cool. Okay. I'm going to share those tips with you because they're so important. If you're going through this and if you feel like you're just not accepted because you are different, I'm going to give you those practical tips because I feel like, why should I keep them to myself? If they've worked for me and maybe they work for somebody else out there, you can have them too. So number one, celebrate your uniqueness. What's one thing that makes you different? Write it down and remind yourself why it's special. I'm different because I grew up traveling the world. Why is that special? Because I traveled the world. I am cultured. That's something important. I know how to communicate with all types of cultures. That's something special. Not everybody knows that. I feel in my element no matter where in the world I am. So if that was me writing it down, that's one thing that makes me different. And that's one thing that makes me special. Number two, reframe your mindset. Instead of asking, why am I different? Try asking yourself, how has this made me stronger? So the thing that I was more ashamed or felt different about is actually something that has made me stronger. The fact that I can adapt to any situation and find beauty in it is what made me stronger. So reframe your mindset. Instead of asking, how am I different? Ask yourself, how does it make me stronger? And three, find your community. People, hang out with people who appreciate and celebrate your unique qualities. I'm telling you, we all think that people love that one person that we're looking at, but that's not true. People, if they're talking to you, means that they like you. They want to be with you. So surround yourself by those people that when you're with them, they inspire you. And when you're with them, they make you feel like you are amazing. Surround yourself, create your own groups. Stop trying to hang out with the groups of other people that you don't even care about at the end of the day. So those are my three very practical tips that are easy. I feel like we could get into this topic and just dive in for hours about it, but obviously we don't have that many hours. So anyways, here's a reminder. Being different isn't a flaw. It's a gift. Okay. I'm going to silence right there. Being different isn't a flaw. It's a gift. I'd love to hear from your stories. What's one thing that makes you feel different? How it's shaped you? And let's inspire each other. So drop your thoughts in the comments or share your journey with me on social media. Let's create a space where we celebrate our uniqueness together. My friend, let's do it. I want people to know. I want to get to know you as you're getting to know me. Drop it in the comments. I want to see it. This episode spoke to you though. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need a reminder that their differences are their superpowers. Thank you for being with me again. I'll see you next week. It was so nice talking to you again. I hope you like this episode.